Well, hi, welcome back to this thing. Yay.
Yes. Okay. So far, ladies and gentlemen, on this our 19th part, I can say this about The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
It's a video game where you go around killing zombies. Our main character is named Ellie. She goes around either moaning about stuff or killing people and or zombies.
And swears a lot, like you said.
Yeah, and swears a lot. Although to be fair, everyone does that. She also has a girlfriend who is the girlfriend.
She's there. Dina was helping. Now she's pretty much just incapacitated at a theater.
Yeah, because she got knocked up by somebody.
Yeah.
As for everyone else, Abby has vanished from the game.
If only she could stay gone.
And everyone else is here except Joel, who went out golfing.
Very good.
Nobody came. Blah, 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 blah.
Very good. There's a very thorough analysis.
Well, about as much effort as the writers put into making us care about certain elements of this game's plot.
That's the weird thing about this game. They're technically putting a lot of effort in, but it is some of the most bafflingly stupid kind of effort that it might as well be very little effort.
I swear.
Let's suck if she weren't.
Yeah, fortunately she will be there. I'm not even kidding you. Like when I was getting to that point, when I got to this particular point that we're in right now, I was all like, okay, if that woman is not in there and we have to pad us out even more, I swear I'm gonna punch somebody. But no, fortunately.
It's like Ellie said, better still be there, Nora. Like, it's almost like she is emphasizing with how frustrated the player probably is at this point.
Yeah, but honestly, I'll be honest. It's games that the games that pull the oh, don't worry if you're frustrated. The main characters are too card. It only works so often.
Let me put it.
Because most of the time it's just because you know certain parts of the story are needlessly frustrating doesn't stop it from being needlessly frustrating, but you're just calling it out. You're just drawing more attention to it, like you're proud of it or something.
A good example of how to... Okay, I can think of two distinctly different examples of how to do this. One of which is Ace Attorney, where yes, it can feel frustrating, but that's kind of the idea. Like, you're literally playing a game of courts and lawyers. Expect frustration to be part of the key, and it helps how much you're in the shoes of the player here. And you know what? And you know why else it helps? Because more often than not, it leads to a much satisfying conclusion where you finally catch the bastard who's been eluding you the whole time. Another example is...
unless there's the updated autopsy reports.
Well, okay, to be fair, we still get the drop on Edgeworth as well, so we get to throw that back in his face as well.
Let's see. Batmandar. Batmandar. Ha 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 ha. Get it?
Oh, okay, I got this one.
Alright.
Brains 80 Spawn 60 Spark. Once the solar system's most notorious pirate, Neptunian Batman Dar became known for hijacking resupply ships, threatening the nascent colonies on Europa and Enceladus with starvation. Pursued by the future alliance into the asteroid belt, she threw a ship too close to...
Sorry, this... You see, I paced this from my reading speed, not yours.
Yeah.
So, yes,
so anyway, Joe, what was the second example you were going to bring up?
Super Mario games in general, specifically Super Mario Odyssey, where you're constantly having to play catch-up with Bowser. Super Mario Odyssey feels like kind of the proper evolution to the whole your princess is in another castle thing, where you're chasing after Bowser, you catch up to him, but he gets away and leaves something in your place here and there. What keeps that from being simply just frustrating, aside from it being a famous Mario formula, is the fact that the game offers a lot of fun stuff to do. And even though Bowser does manage to get the slip on you, you still do stuff that, hinders his operations here and there, and you still get satisfying as all heck gameplay here.
It also helps
Last of
that
Us-
Mario Odyssey is not exactly the story is not exactly a focus. So you're not like.
Well, okay. I will say, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Super Mario Odyssey does have more focus on story than a lot of past Mario games, but yeah, fair enough. It doesn't have as much story as this game. That said, though, regardless of that, though, at least there was fun and varied environments and gameplay to help stuff out here, and it helps that it was generally fun. May I remind you, this is a game where the intent is for us not to have fun, so jolly gumdrops on that. That, and well, like I said before, you're going to feel a lot of disconnection from the characters in this game. And yeah, remember how I said at least in Ace Attorney you get satisfaction with the ending plot twists? Well, let's just say you don't get ending satisfaction with this game. Not in the way you may expect Shiroi and Dwibs, but you'll see what I mean by lack of satisfaction.
Well,
So-
I already know, but I'm not going to spoil the others.
Let me just sum it
No,
up
sure,
like
already
this. All
knows
this
as well, so.
all this padding was pretty much for nothing. And I don't just mean it in the sense of like, the ending of this game. I mean in the sense of the first half of this game as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because believe it or not, we are not yet halfway done with this game.
Nope.
Even though it
Well,
feels
isn't-
like we should be.
Wasn't there like 40 parts in this playthrough?
Yeah, 44.
44, but okay. Let me put it like this. By the actual story plot here, again, here's the thing. With the story plot being that we have to chase and find down Abby, there's only so much you can do with a story in a Last of Us kind of setting here. Like, the whole trying to get the cure to a certain location thing, that had a lot more room to, be a plot because, it's literally a countrywide expedition. So you could have a lot of hijinks happen along the road. A lot of stuff happens in one area for the most part. And as you guys have probably noticed, it gets old. So flipping old. So, again, in order to make up for all this, you really should give players a nice reward for the end. They don't.
Anyway, let's swim. All right, and we're actually almost to the hospital.
Really? You can't find this one little girl with a giant weight on her back?
One thing I noticed about the surf fights, they don't yell out
Well, actually,
fellow
these are-
Mooks' names.
Well, actually, these are the WLF. And yes, they do Jova later on. You'll see.
Well, I'm talking about the section where we went through. You may have noticed when we first encountered them.
No,
for some reason,
not
they didn't
Vincent.
shout out. For some reason, they didn't shout out the victims' names.
To be fair, even the WLF, they don't do it 100% of the time either. So
So
It's still rather odd though when they do.
all right, and here it's time for our first major victim.
The box.
No.
Don't make a fucking sound. Hands up.
you were wearing your headphones, you
She's
idiot.
got a Vita.
She's playing up her PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita survived the apocalypse, it seems.
Yeah, okay, now that is BS.
Well, the PS3s did.
Yeah, but the PS3 had more of a success than the Vita. Anyway, she did.
Oh no, we killed.
Exactly.
She was
Who is she
literally
again?
Don't worry, Rose. We'll get to see more of her later on. Anyway, let's see what
Can
games.
we steal her Vita and play on it?
Sorry, Dres. Unfortunately, no.
but we
We don't use the word fun
wait,
here.
hold on.
Let's see what she was
what's
playing.
playing
Oh,
on
she was
there?
playing Hotline Miami.
Wow, cute. But
Hey,
you know,
hey, Jova, a game with a lot of violence in an anti-violence video game.
I thought you were gonna shoot the Vita.
You see, guys. This is why she had to die. She was playing a pro-violent video game, so obviously she needs to
sorry.
die.
I think the thing that gets me the most is like, well, this is a world where you can get jumped on at any second. You're in an evidently dangerous area, yet you put on headphones which are obviously going to impair your hearing, so anyone can easily sneak up from behind on you. Again, these people are practically asking to die with how incompetent they are. And for what?
Ne-
All just to play your stupid Vita.
In fact, that's the I figured out the meaning of the title of this game, The Last of Us.
The last of our sanity.
No. The Last of Us who are competent.
Pretty much. Look, don't get me wrong. It's a nice Easter egg, but wow, were you just taking stupid pills? And I raise this point because Neil insists on us taking the story so seriously. Well, if you want me to take it that seriously, Neil, I'm gonna scrutinize when your characters are acting stupid for no God-given reason. Just reset there for a bit.
Yeah, apparently, this game suddenly turned into Life is Strange, and Ellie can rewind time.
Or maybe it was just a jump
Ellie,
cut. Who knows? They could both be true.
Ellie, Ellie,
No, that's what this needs. Time to travel bullshit.
So, Ellie, did the feeling of revenge fill you with enough determination
Anyway,
to reset?
as you can see through that ambulance, we have reached the hospital. So all we have to do now is find Nora. She's somewhere inside it. So we have to first sneak
Alright, everyone, place your bet. So go on.
we have to first sneak inside. So it's a good idea. There's a lot of people in here, so it's a good idea to try to sneak in. Fortunately, only the entrance lobby is the only real hard, sneaky part to get through. Once you get past the entrance lobby, the rest of this section becomes pretty easy.
Alright, everyone, place your bets. Will Nora be dead by the time we get to the hospital area?
Well, let's see.
Yes. Or she might already be dead. Who knows?
Let's see.
That's what I asked, Siri.
Me and Jova cannot bet because we already know. So
Yeah. Alright, then.
all right. So fun fact. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
How is it?
And it's awesome. I love it. But and it also has a listening mode for stealth purposes, just like this game. So interesting.
I wish I could play it, but I don't have enough money.
Don't worry,
Can I have a
dude.
time? I'm gonna have to switch to the Discord window.
Okay, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Well, actually, Jova, I think you're like 3 seconds behind me. So let me bring.
How about the both of you go to 13 minutes?
Yeah, go to 13 minutes. This is a gameplay bit anyway. Go to 13 minutes. Don't worry, you're not missing anything.
I'm there.
All right. There's still 15 seconds before it, so wait a
Oh,
bit.
guys, don't worry. India is inbound.
You ready as well, Joe?
Joy, yeah, sure.
All right, and hold on, and click. There you go.
Right.
All right. Yeah, as you can see, he didn't miss anything. We managed to get into the entrance lobby, and I managed to catch this bitch right here in the back room. Yeah, honey. Patrolling 101. You never go into a back room alone with no one around. That's just begging for a silent assassin to easily kill you and hide you from sight. Like, seriously.
Well, I mean, what was they called? The
WLF.
WLF? Well, I mean, I could think of a more apt name for the WLF.
Go ahead.
Wankers Losing Fort. You see, they don't spell fort properly. They spell it F-O-U-G-H-T because they're cool.
The way
focus.
The words you used reminded me of the way little Karibo categorizes Bakura in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge series. You guys are a bunch of wankers.
Wankers losing focus. They are, thanks, Yuri.
All right, another guy. Let's take him here so that I can kill him here. There you go. That way's outside.
Hey, you told me to be quiet. Oh!
Okay, maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm misremembering the first Last of Us, but I get it, Not all mooks in the first Last of Us were smart, but at the very least, I don't feel like, they were as stupid in this, story-wise. Again, I don't recall anyone being dumb enough to literally wear headphones while in the middle of a freaking patrol, supposedly, where anyone could easily jump them from behind.
Well, to be fair, Jova, that girl, she's not a soldier or anything. She was just there playing because.
She had a knife on her just in case, though. She knew the risk.
Well,
You know, I'm
to be
wondering
fair,
if,
I mean, I'm pretty sure
Also,
everybody.
Dibs, there's nothing quieter than a dead person, so there's
Oh,
that.
You know, I'm wondering if the lack of Bruce Straley has something to do with all this.
Probably.
Also, I'm sorry, Pedro, but regardless, though, I'm sorry, but it's an environment where people are patrolling around. Even if it is in the inner bit of a building, you should be on guard unless you're in a safe zone in this world.
Basically, I had a bottle in my hand just in case the dog sniffed me, and I had to use the bottle to distract her because, again, I'm trying to do a no dog kill run because I don't want to indulge Neil's manipulation.
It's like, who does he think he is? Gary Whitta?
Not to mention, like even if I wanted to kill the dog, killing the dogs can be quite tricky in this game anyway. So I usually prefer to just distract them with bottles.
Like how in After Earth, Whitta and Shyamalan's script involved the death of a dog. Although the death of an animal used for emotional manipulation. Although I'm not sure how much of it was to do with them or Will Smith.
But yeah, like I said, now that we're past the entrance lobby, the rest of this becomes pretty easy because that door. I'll wait till let's see what this guy's
You
talking
get a
about.
smash, but Windows Vista's been outdated for years, Vale. I don't know what that's going to accomplish.
All right. That door that you see right there at the head, that's our exit of this section. So even if you do get caught, you can just run and go through that exit. But however, as you can see, there's not that many people in here, so you can easily sneak past them. There you go.
I heard a noise.
Fortunately, even if they do see you doing this, we block the door immediately. So there you go. There you go. We're fine.
Cool, Ellie. So I guess you totally have a plan for going out, right?
Not really. Her only plan is to just kill people. That's basically it.
Yeah, I thought you were
Well-
going to say jump out the window, but that makes as much sense.
Honestly, maybe everybody just took stupid pills for this plot.
Yes.
Yeah, every time Neil and Hallie were at their writing sessions, they were simultaneously taking stupid pills while writing the script.
Now, sure, you could argue some of this stuff is gameplay, but I'm sorry. For the world these people live in, their survival instincts seem to have gone down the toilet.
Oh no, I'm not going to argue with you. I mean, the reason Joel died is because he got hit with the stupid rock. Also, so,
Well, his
That
brother,
too.
his blabbermouth brother didn't help in the first place.
Yeah.
And that was before Abby nearly got killed for her own stupidity.
So in fact, you know what? Why isn't Ellie angry at his brother or something? Because he's the one that blabbed that got the set.
Well, Ellie wasn't there. Well, Ellie wasn't there.
Ellie
She
doesn't know.
she doesn't know the specifics of how things went down. She wasn't there.
That could be something Abby could do. Oh, by the way, before I know, how about instead of killing me, kill that blabbermouth brother of his? He's the one that told me about Joel in the first place.
One, that would require Abby to be smart. And
Hold on.
two,
Let's see.
The hell's that song?
Oh.
Oh?
You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this, I'm gonna say what I think happened.
Knock yourself out. I've got work to do.
Nora.
All right, we found Nora, and she is alive.
Oh, okay. So what? Wait, Abby in her cell. What is she? Is she a pariah in this organization?
That's the thing to us. That's the thing to us. We're only gonna find that out way later into the game.
So you have patience, right, to wait a few hours?
Don't worry, dudes.
Figure out.
Don't worry, dudes. We'll get to it. But let's get.
I have waited a lot longer for a new flight simulator game, so I can wait a few hours.
Cutscene.
Okay. Now, this is ironically one of the more cathartic parts of the game. Okay, so this is Nora.
She's
Let's
one of Abby's
call her
friends,
Abby.
and she's a doctor.
let's call her Abby's right-hand woman in regards to killing Joel.
I don't know,
So
like
let's just say this.
Abby, if anything, Owen is her right-hand arm man of sorts, like more, not so much Nora.
Owen. Yeah, if he had a spine. Well, I'm talking about people who actually have a spine, Pedro.
But true,
Owen
but that's the thing,
does
Joe.
not.
True, I guess.
You know, the weird thing about Owen is like, okay, never mind. Let me talk about Nora. So it feels like at first the writing is trying to make Nora feel more sympathetic until they have a very mean-spirited line that pretty much goes, okay, time to kill her.
Where's Abby?
You still hear his screams?
What has that got to do with anything?
I hear them every night.
Oh, there you go. So Nora is actually having remorses about the whole thing, actually. Huh.
Yeah, that little bitch got what he deserved.
Oh, never mind.
And there you go. Okay. So
Wow,
yeah,
wow, and Ellie even said, "You fucking cunt." Ellie said.
Wow.
that's pretty much the game's cue to, yeah, now time to kill her.
So yeah, taking a cue from Uncharted 3, this is chase the enemy set piece.
Well, I'll
You
give
can't get away from Ellie's bloodlust.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I'll give Nora this. She's one of the few smart people and actually barricades rooms as much as she can and tries to lead you down ways where you'll get shot.
Well, yeah,
Which
bearing in
means
mind
she
that she's on
absolutely
the
has
clock.
to die.
Yes.
I'm guessing she's supposed to be the smart one of the group.
If she's the smart one, though, I dread to think what the others are like.
Also going
You know-
to hide in the dark, which is also a good idea.
You know, that's one thing I don't get about Nora. It seemed like she was trying to, sort of state her case, but then she pretty much does that complete utter bitch line, and it's like, yeah, she's pretty much an antagonist. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's probably only set to be that, but it feels like such a weird choice of direction to go with the character. Like, it's when they were going, maybe we should make her sympathetic. Nah.
And she just runs away. I mean, you had me pinned. You probably should have.
No, she got hit with a stupid rock. Damn it!
Oh yes,
It
you're
got to
right,
her
she
too.
Like, okay, like that was weird. Seriously, you had me pinned, woman. You could have kept attacking, but whatever. Uh-oh.
did. Time to go.
Gun down.
You can walk away from this, okay? I can.
Shut the fuck up!
Gun down. Hands up.
Get back!
You have nowhere to go.
Now, what was the problem with Nora? Oh, spores, of course.
Yep.
Ellie is immune, of course, so she's fine. But yeah, now now Nora is gonna turn.
Hey,
Well,
Fortunately,
this one is so stupid. I'm surprised they remembered the masks.
Fortunately, it takes a whole day for someone to officially lose their mind, ever since catching the virus. So we still have 1 day to get the truth out of her, at least. So we're fine.
So here's part of the problem with the game's narrative. As I said here, the
See,
game
hold on,
does
Jova.
actually-
You might have noticed when I threw a bottle. Once again, I drew the infected towards them. That way, I could just bypass everybody while the infected chase them away. So I love doing that in these games. But go ahead.
So this is where I got a bit weirded out with the narrative here. Like I said, the game tries to make you feel sorry for the people you kill. Then it feels like it throws out that mentality when it comes to Nora, because I'm sorry, all the player is gonna feel is catharsis when it comes to dealing with Nora. Like, Nora tries to lull Ellie in with the sense that, oh, she has remorse, but then she pretty much, for no reason, drops the facade right there and then.
So what you're saying,
they're gonna
Jova, is that, as Ellie so eloquently put, she's a fucking cunt.
Well, she's kind of acting like it. Holy cow. So yes, where's the
Well,
player?
I mean, well.
Hey,
well,
guys.
I mean, that's all I know of her. She's a cow. That's it.
Hey guys, it's time to torture the truth out of her.
Okay.
Oh, boy, torture! What fun!
Well, there's Casino Royale has a torture scene, and you like that movie, so
Let's just say
What
this scene.
movie? Sorry.
Casino Royale.
Ah, okay. Well, I mean, that wasn't so much. That wasn't. Well, I mean, that was only ball bashing, though. I'm guessing this is going to be a lot more graphic.
Well, actually, no. Surprisingly, no.
You'll
It's not.
see.
Surprisingly, it's not really. You don't really see anything, but you'll see.
So yeah, like Ellie said, you're breathing spores.
Well, here's the thing. There was also a torture the truth out of someone scene in the first game. In the first game it worked because not only was it directed and written much better, but it was with a character.
And they actually showed it, but
It's not so much that they showed it, like they showed stuff, but they did it in a way where it's still not overly graphical to the point where it just feels like you're trying to get a rise out of people. Like, but you'll see. Where's that? So yeah, where's Abby?
Fucking dead anyway. Why would I tell you anything?
Okay, good point.
Well, she isn't wrong.
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
yeah, I'm not really going to explain how for the audience, but just assume I can somehow make it worse.
What he did. How many people are dead because of him?
Oh yeah, because you have never killed people, have you, Nora?
Again, Nora.
Ellie's not buying that shit.
Again, Nora. It didn't help that you pretty much mocked the dead.
Yeah, Ellie's already.
There you go,
breathing,
Dwebs.
it's-
There you go. See, Dwebs. We're about. Ellie's basically going to hit her in the head with in the face with this. There you go. See, however, we don't actually see anything. We just see Ellie's face as she does it. So, no, not really. This is. You'd think they would show us, but no.
Yeah.
There you go. We don't actually see anything, as you can see.
Like it's deliberate just to get a rise.
As
out
far
of
as
people.
torture scenes go, this is as tame as it gets. I mean,
It's not really
it's-
torture, it's in the very slow killing.
So
It's-
take your breath.
actually, okay, and look at that. As you can see, getting the truth out of Nora clearly shook Ellie up.
Yeah, somehow that worked. Like, so much for Nora going, oh, I won't sell out Abby.
Well, Jova,
No.
you'd be surprised how many people cave in when they're under extreme pain and want to end the
That-
pain.
That I do get, but man, Nora flip-flops a lot. One minute she's like, oh, don't you see? We really just wanted to get back at him too. Oh, I enjoyed killing him.
I want to point out a continuity error in a moment, but first let's see what Nora told us.
Also, I want you to remember, Ellie did show remorse for what she did to Nora, despite how much Nora had that coming.
Not ju-
Remember that for later.
Not just that, but I'll point it out too. But hold on, yeah. Well, okay. To be fair, I can actually understand. Maybe after hitting her in the face a bit, she also did something even more painful that we haven't seen. But I guess Neil didn't have the balls to show it. I guess. But anyway, yeah.
Wow.
This is my first problem right here. So apparently, torturing Nora to tell the truth really. Was a very mental toll on. It took a very mental toll on Ellie. Here's my problem. So what exactly makes you killing Nora so different from all the other people you've killed? Like this one death was the true one that really affected her. Also, she should have an arrow hole in one of her shoulders, and she doesn't. Remember that that bit from 2 parts ago where she got hit with an arrow? Yeah, where's the arrow wound?
Maybe her virus gives her self-healing powers?
No, okay.
She's not X-23, Joker.
Okay, no, I get it. Obviously, the cutscenes cannot account for the many different ways we get hurt in the gameplay bits, of course. Obviously, I'm not expecting that. However, the arrow that we took to the shoulder was a plot point. It was actually scripted. Therefore, it would have been no problem to them to just alter her model in the scene to show a little hole, and even show, this could be a moment for Dina to even go, oh my god, what happened? And have these to talk a bit more. You go, yeah, she made her talk.
Well, Pedro, maybe Ellie has never tortured anyone before.
You see, Dwebs. Despite Ellie have been killing people left and right throughout this entire game, this one death, this was the one that really shook her, Dwebs. See?
Never mind the fact that Nora was one of the few people who legit had it coming. Like,
This is the big problem. Okay, it's again, I'm sorry to say it, but I had to. Ludonarrative dissonance. By this point, the game has completely desensitized me to death because I've been killing people so much. So what difference makes this one make? Anyway, there you go. This is the end of Ellie's flashback subplot, where, guess what? 2 years before the beginning of this game, Ellie actually went back to the hospital without telling anybody to see if she can find the truth. So there you go. This is the moment where Ellie discovers Joel's lie.
Touching back a bit base, Pedro, I'm sure some audience may argue, oh, the reason Ellie feels terrible is because Nora's the first person she had to torture. Want to talk about how that's kind of horse hockey?
Well, not really. I mean, technically she already did that, didn't she? I mean, you can kind of argue that was kind of the thing with that girl with the Vita, you know, like so I mean, she didn't have a problem.
Well, yeah, I guess that does still count. Yeah, I mean, shouldn't she be feeling sorry? Okay. Maybe if the story specified that, it was the intensity to which Ellie had to torture Nora, who was already dying, but it's so unclear and so vaguely worded.
All right, Glibs, I have a question for you.
Hmm?
Okay, so you said, and I quote, okay, when I said that I wanted Joel to get the consequences for his actions, I didn't mean take a freaking golf club to the head. Well, I'm actually wondering right now if the consequences that he's about to get would be better for you. So be sure to tell me when we get to it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the whole Ellie feels bad about torturing Nora thing, I could maybe... Okay, I get it. Sometimes showing is better than telling, but what the game has shown me is Ellie killing people ad nauseum and like, okay, maybe, and this is a big maybe, it's because she had to torture Nora, but even still, Ellie has witnessed torturings before. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's something the game could have maybe just told us a bit better. You could argue, it's them having to spell it out for us, but I just feel like it's way too vaguely put as it is. Also, the Fireflies did an relatively amazing cleanup job.
Well, actually, we're going to learn later that, yes, there was kind of a cleanup job after what happened in the first game, so yeah, to be fair, yeah. And apparently, one of the people that were involved in the thing left a convenient recording of what happened.
Wow.
Where was that magical tape recorder?
Okay, look. Okay, in something like Bioshock, this makes more sense. But in Last of Us, that kind of feels that feels quite a bit convenient. Also, why did they leave that behind?
It's like in the room where it was like, I will record everything.
I want to put this out.
Boy.
Yeah, apparently that surgeon that Joel killed at the end of the first game is apparently the only person who could develop a vaccine. Seriously? You're telling me
sense.
You're telling me that only one doctor in the world knows? Like, I don't know. That seems a bit. I get that this.
Maybe the only one they had in the vicinity.
I guess.
I think the problem is the wording, though. Oh boy.
Hard enough in the middle of the night like that. You talk to me. You don't just leave me a goddamn note.
Tell me what happened here.
Oh boy. Well, Ellie, I have to warn you, it involves retcons. Don't get me wrong, retcons are not inherently bad, it's just that the way they're used tends to be often remembered for the bad. And oh boy, the retcons in this game are stupid, to say the least.
No matter what it is, eh?
Well, she actually will go with that promise, to be
Well,
fair.
Well, we know she will because in the present she's still on Jackson.
That too.
No, cause a time paradox.
Yeah, just say it, Joel. There's no point anymore.
Making a vaccine. Would have killed you.
And there is no guarantee it would have worked.
So I stopped.
Oh my god.
Although, to be honest, like you just said, what were the chances the vaccine would work? Like 60-40?
Yeah, this is where it gets a bit frustrating. Joel doesn't mention the other details of it. It's just focused on Joel killed them, and that's it. It kind of
What were
takes
the
out
extra details? Because I don't really remember that far.
The extra details, sure, were that, for one thing, they weren't going to ask for a consent. Secondly, there was no guarantee this would have actually been a real cure.
Yeah.
And third, it was also no guarantee that
So
for one thing,
basically-
the Fireflies would have showcased the virus and, shared the cure properly, or that they wouldn't have weaponized it. Like, what's frustrating about this game is that it takes out a lot of the nuance and just goes, oh, it was just Joel in the wrong. Never mind the fact that the Fireflies themselves had problems going about.
And there you go. That's where this scene in the trailer comes from. But anyway, yeah. One thing that I'll also mention, and this also explains why Ellie is so obsessed with revenge, because remember, this means that during 2 years, Ellie has never has not been even talking to Joel and anything, and we're even going to see this in later flashbacks. So basically, Ellie saw Joel die without a chance for any possible reconciliation, and that so the fact that Abby took that from her is also another. And let's just say it will also even make more sense because not to spoil anything, but Abby, by the end of the period where Joel was alive, Ellie was starting to come around and at the very least try to start a reconciliation process with Joel after 2 years of being angry at him. And that's also one of the main reasons. So, Dwez, would you say these would you say these consequences of having the girl he protected, not talk to him and be mad at him is a better way to deal with things?
Well, I'd say so. I mean, and to be honest, despite what I just said earlier, I don't think even explaining that the chances of a vaccine working are like 60-40 at best would have really helped matters.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's the frustrating thing about this game. It ignores the nuance of it, like the fact that the Fireflies themselves were not handling this wisely. How they were pretty much going to kill Ellie without her
permission.
Like it's funny. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Last of Us's ending, but I'll be damned if you're going to just ignore all the nuance that there was to it. Like that's just doing the first game a disservice.
I would like to, of course, once again compliment the fact that once again the actors are trying their freaking hardest to sell the script to us. So kudos on them.
It's like I know I've mentioned this before, but
so you give me just a bit with this. See, sure, that's because of that shot with that I was a bit questioning about the whole pregnancy thing, because like day 3 and she's already like this. I just felt it just looked a bit wow already to me. So, but okay.
But anyway, I know I said this example before, but that's one thing that did annoy me a bit about Dual Destinies, for example. It felt like it just Alcala just as ended with the Adurus system and all that other stuff.
Uh-huh.
However, Dual Destinies just kind of dropped it all because people didn't like Apollo Justice for some reason.
And look at that.
Improve on it or build from it.
And look at that. Dina still hasn't told Jesse that she's pregnant with his baby. It's Ellie who has to tell him. Nice going, Dina.
Yeah, like
What is it? What is it in recent fiction that we've been seeing recently, with people being pregnant and not telling the father that they are the father? I mean, what the hell?
I mean, it's just
And
dickish.
and guess what? Jesse's actually speaking reason. We need to go back to Jackson. She can't stay here because she needs medical care. Finally, someone speaking sense in this game.
He hasn't been hit with the rock.
But I'm sorry, Jesse. The gameplay.
That's exactly the problem, Shua. That means he has to die.
I'm sorry,
no.
I'm sorry, Jesse, but the gameplay dictates that we stick around in Seattle a bit more.
Yeah, you're too good for this world, Jesse. You have to die.
So there you go. Turns out Abby is in an aquarium.
But Tommy hasn't found her yet.
You're probably wondering right now, why an aquarium? The Abby side of the story will explain that.
It's like the characters are either too good to live or too incapable to live. Like,
Pretty much.
just die, everyone.
You know, if you know how Last of Us, if there is a Last of Us Part 3, you know how that should be now. Last of Us
Everyone
Part 3
dies.
should. No, Last of Us Part 3 should literally start with Ellie being the only person in the whole world alive. Because everyone else either died by being too smart or died by being too stupid.
Maybe that's what.
And all the game is just the only character we control / see or anything is Ellie, because everyone else is fucking dead.
Really, you're gonna have Dina lock the door? I mean, because she can't even stand.
And all we do is go around fighting zombies while Ellie begins her slow but steady psychotic breakdown until at the end she just has a complete mental shutdown and dies of starvation by standing in one position too long because of said mental shutdown. There you are. That's the end of Last of Us Part 3. Yes, it sounds incredibly anticlimactic, but hey, this game isn't doing much in the way of not being anticlimactic either.
Honestly, Dreams, you just summed up a better plot than what this game has. And like,
It's also-
I got it, guys. The cordyceps virus has mutated to the point where it affects people's brain cells, but doesn't mutate them on the outside. That's why everyone but Ellie seems to be acting so much dumber.
It's also it's also a thing where, okay, to recap, basically Dina told Jesse to help Ellie during this third day, considering Ellie has been really shaken up since yesterday.
Just leave me be. I'm only
not
pregnant.
to mention Jesse. Jesse is concerned for Tommy, so he wants to see if he can get Tommy back so they can all together go back to Jackson. But before we go,
And they'll all make it back together. I'm sure.
clearly, you know what, Liz? Your theory right there reminded me of one of my favorite episodes of I Am Weasel, where Weasel writes a book, and then when he goes to the bookshop for the opening, he notices that everybody's acting all stupid while reading it, and oh my god, and he thinks that his book made people stupid, and then he goes, oh, what have I done? Okay, and then he goes, okay, fine, I can't be the only smart person in a world full of dodos, and then he reads the book to turn himself stupid as well, and then after he finishes, and then Baboon is like, you're not being stupid, no, I'm still a genius. And you know what that means? That means my book didn't make anybody stupid. I guess everybody was just stupid already, and I just never noticed.
Oh god, I cannot word. There are only so many ways I can word.
I know, right? I Am Weasel is so out of its time when it comes to its humor. Like,
So anyway, join us for the next part for I Am the Last of Weasel 2.
see ya.
I am the last of the
Yeah.
smart people.